Linda is like a sister to me, so thank you for everything you've done and thank you for the invite.
Happy birthday, Uncle. Happy half century. I hope the future's bright and you enjoy your time here in Australia. It's great having you and your family over. Beautiful location for your birthday party, awesome food, great location. Thanks for inviting me.
Hi Dan, just want to say happy birthday. Hope you have a good day and night and many more to come. Cheers.
Birthday Dan.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday Dan. Second father, so I'm so happy to be here celebrating your 50th with you. It's been an honour having you, or knowing you, and I don't know whether to thank you or not. For me actually being here today, the amount of stuff that you and my dad got up to back when you were younger, but no, love you very much, happy 50th, hope you have a great day.
Happy 50th birthday Dan from myself, Nina and the children. Hope you have an excellent day and hope there's plenty more happy years to come. Happy birthday. Kia ora.
Hey Dan, from me, Planning. Happy birthday Dan, love you, great to be here.
You're a great bloke, great family, love you all. Cheers.
Hey, cheers. Have a big tonight,
Birthday.
Happy birthday, Dan, and respect to your brother. Thank you.
Happy birthday Dad, hope you have a good day. Love you heaps.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Uncle Dan. Happy birthday, Uncle Dan. Cheers.
Happy birthday Dan, thanks for all you've done for us, and John wished he could be here, but you know how it goes with work, but we love you and can't wait to party tonight.
Happy birthday Uncle Danny, thank you for so much for inviting me, Mum and Mark over here. We've come such a long way, but it's been all worth it, and yeah, happy birthday.
Kia ora, Uncle Dan. Happy birthday. We've had an amazing day and it'll be one to remember. Thank you for having us. Thanks for having us, Dan. Thanks for making your daughter as tough as she is to live with. That's fun. I appreciate that.
Hi! Happy birthday Dad, love you. Happy birthday Dad, love you too.
Wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you did. First fruits of
Creator, He is the beginner in you. Oia, mata nini, terang, unao no kisuna I te mata, o whenua. Whakao pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Glory to the Father in heaven, peace on the face of the earth, goodwill to all people. O mōna hei kuhe, kakutunaki, e tāpirinani ngā maunga. O mōna, o tāki tunu te waka, o mati karungi te iwi. O kuru hi te kawa, mea mai whakatari ngā hatu. E te whare e tū nei, tēnā. Ki te marae e takoto ana ki waho ka tēnā koe. To this building, standing greetings. To the sacred earth that lies outside, I greet you also. Ki ngā mate, haere, haere, haere. Haere ki te kāinga I whakarite e tō tātou. Kai hanga mō tātou katoa. To those who have passed on, go forth, go forth, go forth. Go to the home that the Creator has constructed for all of us. Rātou te hunga mate ki a rātou te hunga ora, e hui hui mai nei, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Leave the deceased to be with the deceased. To all of us living gathered here, greetings, greetings, greetings. Tēnei mihi ki a koutou e manuhiri ki ārangi, tau mai, piki mai, kake mai. I greet all distinguished guests, welcome, welcome. Mō reira ka mutu noa I hōnā kōrero mō tēnei rā. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā rā koutou katoa. E honore, e kororia, mana rongo I te whenua, whakaro, pai e ki ngā tangata katoa.
Firstly, I must apologise for my absence today and wish you well for today's events. Secondly, and more importantly, I must say congratulations on attaining the milestone of 50 years of age. It was only days ago when talking with my colleagues that your name came up, and so I find it remarkable to be penning this letter to you today. Nonetheless, I am honoured to be doing so given recent developments. Let me explain. Even with your pressing schedule, for the good of the nation, you were able to put aside some of your valuable time to offer me guidance and advice for the challenges that lay ahead of me. Therefore, I could not let this occasion pass without your acknowledgement. You are indeed a great friend and stalwart supporter. Since arriving in Australia, your considerable contributions to our society and workplace relations have been severely overlooked. Your visionary approach, mediation skills, and caring attitude to those around you is quite outstanding. Some would say completely out of left field, others would say bullshit. But indeed, Australia has experienced tough times in recent years, and it imports such as yourself from our brother nation and across the Pacific that we, as Australian citizens, rejoice in your arrival and we will forever be indebted. Almost single-handedly, you have changed the face of industrial relations across Australia. Your even temperament, LRL, is acknowledged. The days of do it or kick the shit out of you are almost to the best. Oh yes, the halcyon days of spare the rod and spoil the child are no more. Nothing like a good old-fashioned duster, of which I've been informed there were many. This was indeed the Daniel of old that I digress. Dan, I do not wish to encroach further on your valuable time at Killarney, and would like to say briefly in closing, success brings with it certain challenges, and time can be cruel, make no mistake. There are always those waiting an opportunity to upstage, ridicule, and usurp those of us that are too successful. But a word of warning, let it be said that it is a brave and full-hearted person that takes on this man with a view to overthrowing what some may now consider an opponent past his best by date. With the greatest of admiration, then, I wish you the very best and a very, very happy birthday. Kindest regards, your good friend, Kevin Bullshit Rudd. Yeah, you want to write? Hey, awesome to be wishing you salutations today. I am truly sorry, and I'm trying to get too many scotches. Unable to be here to share this occasion, but I am sure you'll understand today's game is a do or die for this bunch of phantoms. You understand better than most the commitment and sacrifice needed to make it to today's game. That great Wanganui Maori team of yours in the 80s and 90s, 80 wins, 5 losses, that was an enviable record in anyone's language. I often wonder what could have been had we met much earlier when you were a younger man. The possibilities were endless. Your remarkable skill sets could have changed the face of rugby, both in New Zealand and now here in our adopted country. And as I recall, there were many faces along the way that you attempted to change. Rugby back home is hard. It's put up or shut up. It's all a bit soft over here. Our record in recent years has been put to the test. Some may even say the sword. There's passion without a heart does not a rugby team make, and you cannot make a silk purse from a sow's ear. And speaking of sow's ears, your introduction of the handbag haka a number of years back was viewed by many as ill-conceived, albeit a rather fitting tribute to the Wallabies, I thought. Unfortunately, this was canned before its first public outing and was later popularised on YouTube by a spoon by the great All Blacks team with a little help and clever cutting room music. It was only yesterday my good friend Colin and I were over here laughing about this. He had one of those handbags, a very catchy attitude, bloody prima donna, and what good did it do him? Anyway, Dan, I just want to say I could have really used you here today. Rugby is about art and money, as well you know. Unlike this lot, I'm struggling, finding it hard against this Northern Hemisphere team. Wish me luck for today, we're going to need it. Happy birthday and best wishes, Robbie Dittings. Dan, this one only came in this morning, in fact. It was good to see you last night, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Your celebrations today, I'm sure, will be a blast. I'm sorry and disappointed I can't make it to Linda's tonight. I was sure looking forward to hearing that smooth, dulcet voice of yours. Have a great night. Happy birthday, Dan Engelbert. We met in 1980, but prior to that, Dan had worked for a couple of people at Wire, and these are all people, I think, right through that have helped to form Dan as a business person and a person in general. There was Bill Hudiker in Wire when Dan was a young lad who was, Bill had the Grand Cafe in Wire and learnt trade of small goods, fish cutting and short order cook. And that was after school from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And then he went on to a couple of other small jobs, but with the North Ryde meat processors as an apprentice butcher, which I didn't know about, and also milk business. It was after that we got together at the Clyde Hotel, and Dan spent 2 years there, and as I said, he moved on very, very quickly. From there he went to the Sandown Park Motor in Gisborne, and as a man, started there as bar manager, very quickly became assistant manager, function manager there. So Dan was really moving on at a great pace. That was 1982 through 86, and then in 86 to 87, Dan had his own hotel. He was general manager of the new Wairoa Hotel, and he did that for 12 months before moving to the Spa Hotel as wholesale manager with Dick Manning. Dan spent quite a number of years with Dick, a number of hotels around the country, and then in the latter part, he went to London for a brief stint as well. 2005 saw Dan make the decision to move to Australia, late 2005, and showing you the versatility of this man, he went into the construction industry, and he's been heavily involved in some very major infrastructure projects here in Australia. The Airport Tunnels project, known as the Airport Link, the Brisbane Airport upgrade, and more recently, Dan working with his son, Carlos, on the Gorgon Gas project, the biggest ever project undertaken by and in Australia. So I think all of what I've said is hats off to Dan. Shows you his versatility, his drive, and what a true hard worker he is. So congratulations, Dan, on your achievements. You've done brilliantly.
The second youngest. I don't have anything prepared. I was just going to wing it because it's easy for me. Like, I always talk about Dad to my friends. They all know that, like, Dad's number one. Yeah, I was thinking there's a quote in the movie Grease that Rizzo says, and it's that the only man that a girl can depend on is her daddy. And I can really depend on my dad. He's just the best. He's always been my best friend. I remember when I was about 6 and I was in primary school, and Dad said, "Who's your best friend?" And I said, "You're my best friend," because he honestly is. I can talk to Dad, and he's given me a quirky sense of humour. And yeah, he's just the best dad. I love you so much. I grew up being Dad's little co-pilot, so he used to do the bread runs to Wellington, and we'd do meat runs as well to Auckland. And so I was just always in the passenger seat listening to Dad's stories about Auntie Honey chasing him up the tree over cutting some butter, and just, I love listening to Dad's stories. They're the best. They're the best. And the song that I have prepared, I'm going to have to ask Linda and whoever else knows it to come up and help me sing, because Mum and Dad both know I cannot sing for rap. But I still remember my very first day of school. Dad took me. We were living at 2 Bully Street, and he said to me, "Darling, I've got a song for you to listen to for your first day." I said, "Alright." And so I'd like to sing it because the words really sum up what I have to say to Dad. And that song is "To Sir With Love" by Lulu. Those schoolgirl days of telling tales and biting nails are gone, but in my mind I know that you will always. But how do you let someone who has taken
the third one out of the 5 of us. It's good to see everyone here today. Last year wasn't the best year for the family, so it's good to see that everyone's come together today to celebrate Dad's 50th. I guess with Gabby's, Teats, Carlos and myself, we've all learned to adapt to the word sharing, because I know that Dad hasn't just been a dad for us, he's been there for other friends of ours. He's been a father figure for them when they've needed it, and you know, it's never been something that's bothered us. That's one of our qualities that we love about Dad, that I guess being passed on to us with having your whānau around and knowing that whānau comes first before anything. There would have been our eldest sister sitting with us today, Stephanie, so I know she would have loved to pass on her best wishes for us. It's been good having Dad, like Abby said. Dad's her best friend and he's been awesome for us. We really are lucky to say that we've got a dad as great as Dad. We, you know, go to the movies with Dad, having coffee with Dad. I guess I'm probably the main child in the family that's inherited the food side of eating all the time. Yeah, I love going on the pig runs with Dad and delivering bread and just getting up in the middle of the night, not wanting to eat my tea and then waiting for Dad to get up and have a feed, and then I'll get up and sneak out and eat like 2 little pigs in the night. Having a feed there, sitting with Dad, and Dad teaching us how to sing, teaching me how to box as a young girl, and teaching me how to sell. As everyone knows, Dad can sell anything. So I got that trade. But we really are fortunate to have you still here with us. We know that, you know, last year lost 3 good fathers, grandfathers and uncles. So it's amazing that we still are able to, you know, share this day with you and sit here all together as a whānau. I just want to say again, thanks everyone for coming and taking the time out to show your appreciation for Dad. The song that Gabby said to sing was the one that he taught all of us when we were younger. We would sit around and play it on the guitar.
I practice every day to find some better lines to say to make the meanings come true. But then I think I'll wait until the evening gets late and I'm alone with you. The time is right, your perfume fills my head, the stars are written all the nights on blue. And then I go and start it all by saying something stupid like, we love you.
Thanks Dad, happy birthday.
I don't really know what to say really, but I'm the same as Dad, so I'm winging it. Well, I'm 30 now, so I've my whole 30 years of being with my father. I want to wish you happy birthday anyway, Dad. I'll just do a bit of a timeline and me and my father have had together. He got me starting work when I was 5 years old. He used to make me pick up all the cans around the pub and crush them. He goes, "We're in some good money there, boys." I said, "Oh yeah, okay then. Fucking money sounds good to me, mate." Alright then. So anyway, I had to crush 7 badges of cans. I got a bee sting the day before, and I'm allergic to bees, so I had a fat foot. But I thought, oh, hold on, he just said I can make some point out of this, so I'll pump it out, I'll go and do it. So I crushed the whole 7 badges, probably took me about 3 weeks, and he took me down to the recycling place. Sweet ass, I'm going to make some cash today, so I was pretty happy. And the guy comes out with $10. I thought, where the fuck's the rest of it, mate? He goes, "Oh, that's your money, mate, good on you." I said, "Oh yeah, good on you too." So I thought, there's got to be a better way of making money out of during your life, you know. So I thought,
Dad, you can shove your cans up your ass. Also, when I was at the age of 5, he got me to learn how to count and balance all the tills. So I learned how to do that as well. And that's why I'm not too bad actually with calculations these days, which is thanks to my father. But sometimes I wouldn't balance the tills too well, so I'd have to start over again. And back then the pub was about, probably could fit in easy 500 people, so you could understand the kind of coin that was out there. So I wasn't too impressed with Dad, but he'd go, well, if you want to learn how to count, you're not going to make a mistake, are you? I said, oh no, fair enough, but don't forget, you old cunt, I'm only 5. So anyway, it was all good. I done that. He also he was a very good coach, a good rugby coach during my younger years when I was only, well, I'm still young anyway, but when I was 10, I used to go down and train with all the boys. These are all men, and I was allowed to train with them. There weren't many kids that could go with their father and coach their team, and I was allowed to train with them. So I was pretty chuffed with that, being able to do that with my father. He also later on he started getting into pigs and all that kind of stuff. So he made me feed the pigs, and well, everybody thinks, oh yeah, feeding the pigs, that's not too bad. That's everybody does that. But this is how good he is. He used to cook for them. I used to cook for a pig. So I'd turn the barbecue on, and we'd be cooking squash for the pigs. So they've got to have a hot food boil, so they grow well. So fucking hell. All right then, sweet ass then. He used to make me also learn how to do stack wood and all that kind of stuff in the winter time. He used to sell wood so that we could survive during the winter. So I eventually learned how to stack a shitload of wood, boards, a whole load of them. One time he come back and he goes, oh, you didn't stack the wood this time, why not, boy? And I thought, oh no, here we go. Here's another slap around the ears. I got one. Yeah. But yeah, that's one thing that with Dad is always taught all of us kids work ethic is very important. And I'd just like to thank you very much for that, Dad. Another big thing with my father as well is he's brought us up to love our family, all of you guys here. He doesn't see cousins or anything like that. Every one of you is here as if you know Dad is a brother or a sister. That's just the way he is. He has a whole lot of love, not only for us but for his whole family, and that's another great quality of my father. He used to, when I was just the only scrog running around, nearly every week we were going home for a tangi. He's always been one of those people that he makes sure that he gets there and that he represents his family. And then he's passed that on to the rest of us as well. And I don't know, for myself, I'm very proud to have a father like him, because I never actually realised how good Dad was until I actually come over here to Aussie, because I took everything for granted. I thought that's the way you should bring your son up, and then I got to meet other cultures and all the ways that they understand, and well, I don't think there's a wrong or right way, but just the way they should treat their kids. Dad's the best. There's nobody else out there, personally in my eyes, that Dad is a father to me. Like as I said, I've known Dad for the whole 30 years, and that's obvious. I'm just trying to figure out something else to say that's playing up the clock. But like all the boys at work, they go, how long you worked with your father for? I said, oh, probably about a year I haven't worked with him. And they said, oh, fuck that, mate, I've never worked with my old man. I said, oh, yeah, no, so yeah, and that happens all the time. And then you realise, shit, I've got a good dad, you know, because it doesn't worry me at all that I work with my old man. I can tell him, or I can be the leader at the job as well, and it doesn't worry him. That's what he passed on to me. Being a good leader is also being a good follower. So I'm going to stop babbling on and tell Dad that I love you very much, and beers up everybody for the old man. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Dad. Me and Lexi love you. Like Gabby's in the house, and Linda was saying, I remember when I was younger, me and Dad always fought. I guess you could say I was Dad's double. Rebellious.
I call her Daniel.
And everyone used to say, oh, you're just like your father. I said, no, I'm not. And now I think, what's wrong with that? Nothing. I can be stubborn, always have to have the last say, and good looking. So that's alright. Oh no, but anyway, back to the best friend thing Dad used to always say, no matter what, me and your mother are your best friends. And, no, you're not. yes, we are, Tate. Yeah, okay, Dad. And then as you all know, I fell pregnant when I was 16, 17. And this is what made me realise how he was right, that he was always my best friend. So I told him I was pregnant. And he got upset. Not because I was pregnant, because he thought he was the last one to know. And he wasn't. Every mum and only Gabby's knew. So I'm glad that I told Dad what I did. You're the best, Dad. I think when I tell my friends, oh, what are you doing today? Or what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm going to movies with Dad, or going to have coffee with Dad. And they're like, what do you mean? Going to get a massage with Dad. Yeah, going to get a massage with Dad. None of my friends have that when they're fathers, and I'm very, very grateful. Love you, Dad.
Everything they said about him is true. He's my best friend. He's my best friend, and he's always been there for me. He's been an awesome support to me and my family. He's just been an awesome husband. You know. I just want to say I love you. And thanks for being there always. I love you. Okay, thanks.
He's always been especially kind to me. Today's his 50th birthday. I thought I'd like to write this for your granddad Ben, and to make sure you know I'm happy like that. Uki wants to say that you're the best. You know my little brother can sometimes be a pest. So raise a toast, we love you the most. Thank you for all that you do. A big happy birthday to you.
And I'd like to mention my grandson Carlos. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here to celebrate his dad, which is my son, Spirit. So Carlos, thank you very much for bringing Nan and Pop over. And as for Dan, I was very lucky my parents. Pop, when I look at Tiana, they say history repeats itself. Yes, I was the same age as Tiana, and my mum took over and raised my son, which was Daniel. So, he had a good upbringing. He was Nana's boy. Whatever he did, Mum didn't see anything wrong. He was always right. And I believe Mum is around us, and Dad, the one who is here, the Spirit is here with us to celebrate the one we love and rescue them. So my absent friends, and also my daughter who's over in England, and her husband, my son-in-law and grandson, they'd like to wish you and be thinking of you today, Dan. And my family back home, my sisters, Ruby and Gisborne, there's Bubs and Napier, Pet and Dunedin, and my brother Boy in Christchurch. They will be thinking of you today. And, you know, we're here to celebrate and also remember this day. Thank you again, Dan, and wish you, many more birthdays. Congratulations to you. I can't sing, but I think Michelle's going to sing for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Looks the same as I step down from the train, and there to meet me was my mama and brother. Down the line, and there I'm hearing their golden lips like cherries. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Your house is the same, the same is right and right. And there's that old oak tree that I used to play on. Down the road I know, and there runs Mary. There are golden lips like cherries. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, they all come to see me. Smile sweet, smile is sweet. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home.
I'm Michelle, and I'm Danny's cousin. Denise and my mum Ruby are sisters, but cousins, like Carl said, is just a name. We're actually more like brothers and sisters, because I'm actually turned 50 last year, hate to say it. And when we're really close, because I'm an only child and I was brought up by my nana and grandpa too. And my uncles and aunties are like brothers and sisters to me, because that's how it was. We just lived in the same house and went down the Kiwi Road every weekend, hopped on my bike, my Raleigh 20. Because funny enough, we had the only mode of transport we did have at the homestead was bikes, and they all got names like Thin Lizzie and Black Beauty, just because they had fat tyres and skinny tyres. But that's what we did growing up there, and Kiwi Road had fond memories. We'd play bull rush and go home, stay home in the paddock. My grandpa was notorious for cutting Dan's hair with a number 1 comb, and they looked hideous, but today it's the number 1 trend. So I think Grandpa had the foresight to cut everybody's hair, especially Dan's. It was horrible. But because we grew up there on the farm, we had gardens to play in, and I learned how to drive a tractor with my cousin Dan here. We'd hop on the buckboard and put the straps on the back and motor on down the back of the place and do things like that. We learned how to plant sweet corn and potatoes, and Dan learned how to eel and smoke the eels in the smoke box with my grandpa, go white baiting, and like Carlos said too, he learned how to slaughter animals like pigs and things like that, which, those things are the foundations of who we are today. It was a hard life sometimes. It wasn't always easy, But you know what, at my nana and grandpa's, we always got fed well, we always were clean and clothed, and it was fun times. But like every good great man, we have support, and Dan's always been supported by Liz, you know, and his wonderful family. He wouldn't be here who he is today either, with these foundations, and with these kids too. You know, he's got a great family. I'd like to say Dan was brought up in a little Hawke's Bay town of Waiho, and I think it's appropriate today that we think that we're having this party here at a Lighthouse restaurant, because in Waiho, the iconic building down there is the Lighthouse, which sits on the riverside on the south side of the bridge. So well done guys, because this is symbolic of where Dan was brought up, in Waiho and the Lighthouse. I googled Lighthouse today, and it says a lighthouse has symbolic meaning. It is a structure whose instruments emit light, and this light beckons people back home. It represents the return of optimism and light back home. Here is our lighthouse, our beacon. He has a knack of finding family members and bringing us all together and guiding us home. And that's because he's got mana and aroha and the ihi in him that makes people want to come home. It draws everyone from walks of life, and that can be seen today here. All the family and friends here to celebrate his birthday. He has those wonderful qualities, and we are blessed to have him in our life. Sugar in the evening, sugar at supper time. Be my little sugar and love me all the time. Honey in the morning, honey in the evening, honey at supper time. Be my little honey and love me all the time. Put your arms around me and cuddle my close. You'll be mine forever and I'll love you all the more. Honey in the morning, honey in the evening, honey at supper time. Be my little honey and love me, love me, love me all the time.
Born 6 July 1963, Waiho. Whāngai ai Tarawea and Philippa. I am Nina, I'm the youngest. Dan is actually my nephew, but he is now my brother. When I look at our family, it was only natural for Mum and Dad to whāngai her two mokoponas, the boys, as the older brothers had left home to start their careers. Plus, someone had to do all the work. As for Dan, Mum chose his name, and to see him hold himself up to his namesakes, Apatari, who is Mum's baby brother, and as for Dan, which is short for Daniel, that was one of Dan's many names. Growing up with Dan was comforting to know he will be there for me, as he is today. Every birthday of mine, he will treat me with a pot of mutton birds, little hard nobly, which I am so very thankful. I'd like to get everybody to raise their glass and to celebrate to Dan his 50th birthday. Anyway, here's to Dan. Happy 50th, Dan. I love you very much.
who I was brought up with, or how would you say, I mingled with. I wasn't actually brought up with them. Were, you know, like Dan and them's aunties and uncles, and one which happened to be my mother-in-law. And it wasn't until I actually got married that I started to recognise the Māori side of me, because I'd always been brought up as a European. And even though I went to Te Aute College, didn't stay there very long, but even though I went there, I sort of still didn't recognise myself as a Māori. And in time, talking to Dan, we sort of went through a bit of whakapapa, and I realised where I belonged in this world. And I've struggled with myself, and still haven't got there, but it's a big wish that I could someday stand amongst my peers or my people and be able to talk the lingo eloquently. But anyhow, I learned to lingo with the old people, and it's their diction was something that, you know, actually Carlos, he said it, he talked how they talked very well. You know, they're eloquent, like, fuck this, fuck that. That's how they spoke. All of his uncles and aunties all spoke like that. But this little story I've got, and you know, I could have been a minister and blessed you all here today. I'm sitting with my mother-in-law and her little, it's like a shed thing. And I've got she's got her back to the door. And when she got very sick, she used to have the mitta come around and have a church with her. Well, I see this guy coming through the door, and I didn't know he was the minister, and I go, who the fuck's that critter roaming around in there? And she gets up and she starts chucking things around, and I'm going, stuff this, I'm out of here. He goes, no, you stay here for church. So now he has this church, and at the end, he's got this wine left. So him and I sat there, and he said, here, you drink the rest of this, and I go, cheers, bro. Drank the wine. And, you know, my mother-in-law had the biggest heart of anybody for all of her whānau. And, you know, this gentleman here possesses the same heart. Same name, beautiful people. Now, I'm not going to sing you no song because I'm no fucking singer, but my son and my wife will. Get on my dog.
Say thank you to Kevin for bringing back those memories of our parents who passed on, and it's just something I like to share with everyone, that it was just so true that our mother, she loved all her nieces and nephews, and in fact she loved them so much as their own children. And it just seems in this day and age that's something that you know, a lot of people we may take it for granted, but a lot of people are not as fortunate to have, is that love. Both Kevin and I have been fostering children for about 25 years, and so we saw it in their lives that they never had what Dan and Liz have done for their family, and that it's really awesome to hear the kids tautoko them, because it's something that a lot of children are missing in these days. But thank you, Kevin, for reminding us about our mum, who is Dan's grandfather's sister, and in true Te Mararoa style, very unique family, awesome hearts, and it's just, I just can't wait till tonight to around Linda's place to, really bring out that true Te Mararoa in us, and go hard, or otherwise go home. So no, it's really neat to be here, to share this occasion, and to be with each and all of you, and to show lots of aroha to one another. So thank you for all that, and looking forward to catching up and having a drink later on. I don't want to take the floor, but just a song that I think might be appropriate here for this occasion. Our national anthem, Kamate Kamate, so for all of those of you who have forgotten that, okay, you just follow after me, and I just want us to lift this roof by singing the song. So, Kamate, 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 Kaura, Kaura, Kene te tangata. Oh, come on, I want to hear it louder than this tonight. Nana ite kima, Waka puti tera,
I was pretty protective about who my sister went out with. Anyway, old Danny, he had his sights on her, so I wasn't very keen about that. Anyway, I think he'd been working at the pub one night, and he'd come around to our place. We lived in Westport, and it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and he's banging on the door telling me that he wants to come in and see my sister Liz. I'm going, no, you're not coming in here. I said, you come back when you're sober. And he was pretty good chicken, and he's pushing on the door, he's trying to push his way into the door, and I'm pushing back on him. But itself, you know, they've been together. I'm pretty proud of my sister and my brother-in-law. You know, he's got the same wife, she's got the same husband, and the kids are from the same sack. If I can put it that way. You know, not a lot of people stick together these days, eh? So, yeah, so I want to say congratulations to you two on that. And you've been a good brother-in-law, Danny. You're kind of like a brother too. Shoot, I don't think I was going to get up and cry. I just wish you happy birthday. I love you. It's one of my heart. And plus all your children too. With my sister, that's my sister, my baby sister, and I'm the eldest. But yeah, looking at you guys, I'm just so proud of you as a family. And I want to thank my nephew, Carlos, for bringing me over here too. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today. Yeah, not be enough. I mean, Quincy told me she was coming to a birthday. I thought, gee, I'd love to be at his birthday. Because, you know, I worked with Danny, sat down in the hotel with him, and we had some mighty fine times. Didn't we? But, yeah, I just love him. I love my sister. Nephew. Thank you. And that's my eldest boy over there, Carlos. His name is Carlos. So, Liz and Danny decided before these Carlos too. So, yeah, thank you very much. I'll see you soon later.
Thank you.
Kia ora tātou. Ki runi te kāranga o te rā, hara mai e loto arawa o te atua. Ko kahu te mara tuku ingoa, ko hikarangi tuku maunga, ko ngāti parau tuku iwi, ko wātui tuku awa. No mā hara mai tina tātou kātoa. Kia ora everyone, my name's Kahu, originally from the East Coast, from Gisborne. Live in Tauranga now, New Zealand, North Island, Bay Plenty. I married into the family about 17, 18 years ago. Christine, I married Christine, Sister Liz's sister. I remember the first time I met Dan and another brother-in-law, he's not a brother-in-law anymore. I walked into the Dallas house, Ripparata Street, and the old family were all there. And I had a beat up old bloody Toyota Celica with a broken window, and picked up Chrissy, and she came to see me, and we went over to the house, meet the father-in-law, Sam. Bless him, he's passed away last year, but got a bit of a grilling. Walked in and had my short sleeve t-shirt, my tabbies, yeah. First thing I could hear Sam say to either Luke or Danny was, I like my tabbies. Yeah, I don't know, straight away I think Dan and I hit it off as, I suppose, brother-in-laws. After we got married, we travelled back, even though we were in Tauranga, we used to travel back to Gisborne a lot, see the family, see Sam and Warren, and catch up with Dan and Bella. But basically, you know, every time, I mean, this is a Māori thing, this is a Māori thing, every time we get at Dan and Liz's house, I mean, they always made us do that home. There's always a feed, go have a kite. You sit down, have a kite, have a call down, have a catch up, and then that's it, you do whatever you got to do. Yeah, over the years, watched Dan, a couple of things I used to notice. I remember when Dan was getting into a bit of doing pigs and bloody bread and all sorts. Bit of jack of all trades, old Dan, done heaps of stuff. Well, I remember he was getting into trailers. Started doing trailers when you were, what was that street you was? Woolly. Remember popping over there one day and I think he had one trailer there that he was fixing up and getting welded up in the garage. Like 3 months later when we went back there was about half a dozen trailers all on the front lawn. One thing I've learned about Danny is every time he does something, he doesn't stop, you know, he doesn't do it in half measures or quarter measures, he does them in full measures. You get the full cup, not half a cup. But yeah, over the years, probably every time I come see Liz and, first of all Liz, you know, I think Michelle said, you know, behind every good man there's a good woman. And I think if most of us men married admit it, we're only half as what we are without our wives. So Liz, you're an awesome woman. Dan isn't who he is because he's Dan, he's who he is because he's got you there supporting him. And they reckon if you look at a tree, big tall tree, we see it from the ground up. What we don't see is the roots underneath, and in some cases, some trees, the roots is just as deep down as they are the height of the tree. And that comes down to having a good partner, good wife, good support base. So that was another thing I was thinking about. And I'm winging it too, like the rest of the family. The kids, Dad, looking at you over the years and watching you and Liz, one of the greatest pleasures has been your kids. Seeing the girls, well, they're not kids anymore. Always polite, always, wanting to serve, just like Dad. Always wanting to make a cup of tea or feed you or do whatever it is you need doing. So that's another trait. And no doubt the girls are all going to end up with some good men like their dad, and I think it's true. I reckon most girls will end up with guys like their dads. If they've got a good close relationship with their dad, they tend to veer in that direction. I don't know how true it is, but that's what they reckon. A couple other things I was thinking about down there. Food. Every time we get together, we always go somewhere for a decent feed, and it's usually seafood. Because, back on the coast, back home, high water is a big thing. Whether it's a crayfish or some kinners or mussels. So that's another good thing about always catching up with Dad. We usually go driving, he's always got 100 things that he needs. He has to sort out, so we go cruising around and we solve the world's problems, just me and the bro in the car. That's what we do, we solve all the world's problems. We solve our family problems, we solve everybody else's problems, and then that's us saying, later brother, see you next time, we'll solve the world's problems again. We catch up again next time. Another thing, I was thinking about that. What are you going to do next?
I'd just like to say thank you very much, and I feel I have to say something because I'm pretty much the only male from the Hema family apart from my cousin over there. Being able to make it, my Uncle James couldn't make it due to work commitments, and he was shattered. I contacted him before, and he was gutted that he couldn't make it. So I thought I'd better say a few words. And like they said, my cousin's named after me, and I've always wondered how, and for years, how that came about, how he ended up being named after me. And my Uncle Danny was fortunate enough in the conversation we had a while ago, I asked him, or it just come about, how did Carlos get named after me? He goes, you asked him to be. And I was just like, hey? And I said, what? I asked, and I think, I spent that much time with my cousin Linda and my cousin Carlos. Unfortunately, I haven't spent much time with the younger ones because they moved to Aussie. But we were pretty thick when we were all kids. I always remember seeing my auntie and my uncle. And I love all the times that I spent with them, but yeah, that's the kind of people they are. Here I am. I play with the sun so much. I play with my cousin all the time, and I ask my uncle and my auntie, can you name him after me? He's cool. And that's the kind of people they are. They didn't have to or need to, but they did. And that's just the kind of people my auntie and uncle are. They're awesome people. I have nothing but the fondest memories of when I was a kid. So I'd just like to say thank you for all the good memories, Auntie and Uncle. Thank you very much, and it's been an honour to be invited today. Thank you very much for having me here. And you won't be getting no song from me, I can't sing it. Sorry guys, that ain't going to happen. I'll stand there and I'll mime the words from behind. So if it looks like I don't get the words, I probably don't. So.
You know these things when you're 100? Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Say don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I woke up this morning and I smiled at the rising sun.
happened to look at that in the Maori dictionary to see what actually Koro meant, and it actually means slur. So I'm Sir Theo Philip David Tumataro. Bloody sisters over there pushed me up here. Yes, I know. I'm used to this thing. Not less than his, but I'm not. So, 50 years old, Abraham. Man, who would ever thought? You nearly didn't quite make it here, apparently a few years ago. And you decided to go to Melbourne by yourself no more. What happened? Didn't quite make it down the hill. Well, you made it down the hill, but minus a bike. Anyway, you know, you get past all these sort of things. There's a lot of things that you and I sort of got together and done when I moved back home from Christchurch. You know, we've done together, bro. And yeah, I remember one time back when I came home, we won this thing. Then back when I turned up at home at about 4 in the morning, pissed out. Who gets out of the books all the time? Danny. There's a feed and we all back to Christchurch again. Yeah, there's a lot of things I sort of can't remember at the moment. Anyway, bro, I don't want to carry on with it now. I'm so glad to be here.
Just before I hand the mic over to Dan, I'll tell you a little story and show you the resourcefulness of Dan. He was telling me a story the other day about he was heading out to work at one of his Australian factories and he decided to pop into the bakery and grab something to eat on the way to work. So they walked through the door and this Aussie, as quick as a flash, grabbed 3 biscuits and stuffed them in his pocket. Turned and looked at Dan and Dan said, what are you doing? He said, you beat that, bro. Dan looked at him and said, oh, yeah. Okay, so Dan went over and he picked the biscuit up, put it in his mouth and started eating. Just then the old lady turned around and said, what are you doing? Yeah, just don't be worried, I'll show you something. So he ate the biscuit and reached out and he grabbed a second biscuit and he started eating that too. And the baker said, look, I'm not very happy about this, what's going on? He said, don't worry about it, he said, I'll show you a trick. So he finished the second biscuit and reached out and grabbed the third biscuit and he started eating that too. The baker just about had enough of this and when Dan finished the third biscuit, he said, right, I've had enough. He said, you're going to pay for those orders. He said, listen, mate, he said, I told you, I'll show you a trick. He said, where's the biscuit, buddy? He said, I just looked in the other fellow's pocket. He said, you'll find them there.
I thought about a lot of things over the last couple of months when we'd decided to have this thing. And a lot of things have been going through my mind and thinking about everyone in the family and those friends that had come in and all that sort of stuff. And I didn't know where to start. And someone touched on it earlier on about my name and Koro and John and the family, Koro, my younger brother. And they all know the history. For those of you who know me, you know I love history, especially whakapapa. And when I asked the old man about my name and so forth and other older members in the family, it sort of goes like this. My name's Dan, Danny Boy, Daniel. Well, I'll start Danny Boy by the family, Dan by some of my workmates, and Daniel by the police, lawyers and judges. So I've got all these different names, but I hate it when someone calls me Danny Boy and they don't belong to the family. So I remind them, and so they get told no in certain terms. It's either Dan or Daniel. Anyway, my name's Dan, and I was named after my grandfather, Phil. It's a bloody queer family, I tell you. So I was named after Dad. And I tell you why I was named after Dad. When he was born at Moaka, he was known as Dan Biddle. No one knew Phil Mararoa was Dan Biddle. His dad's grandfather was Benjamin Biddle on his mother's side, Terita. And her mother was Penny Biddle. You probably know them from the East Coast up Gisborne Way all the way through to Whakatane. Well, that's us. And that's on Dad's side. And then his nanny, Penny Biddle, she married a fella called Ropatuni Tiopera. And Nikki knows that name because that's part of her whānau as well. And then anyway, there's a few name changes. I can't explain why. But Ropatuni Tiopera became Tio, and then it became Joe. And then some decided to take his first name, and it became, some of them out there are Ropatuni. So if you see Ropatunis or Tios or Joes, we're all the same outfit. So I just want to clear that up. So don't forget. On Mum's side it was simple. It was simple. She was brought up by her nanny, Harati. And her name was Harati Apatari. Her father was named Hinari Apatari, and he was the grandson of the chief, Apatari, Nai Apatari. So it was simple. And so between Mum and Dad, I don't know, did you have a choice in my name or what? No, there you go. The old man and the old lady had made that decision, and they called me that. And I wanted to share that with you because it's important to me, and most of you all here, a good majority of you, we all got the same blood and the same aroha for one another and what have you. I heard a joke the other day. This old fellow walks in the gym, he's about 88. About 88, he's got his shorts on, he's got his head bound around his head. Steve and I are at him on the weights, he's doing cardio, and so on, he all over, and he goes, "Hey young fella, what's the best machine that I can use to pick up a young chick?" Steve says, "The ATM machine." Anyway, I want to go and start thanking a few people, and I want to thank all of you for taking time and giving up your time to come here, because I know it's important these days. Work seems to be a major part of our existence these days, we don't know we're going to pay, so thanks for those of you who made the sacrifice to be here, and I really do appreciate it. Those who have travelled from within Australia, Dubai, Sydney, and the ones from New Zealand, thank you very much for coming along and sharing the same with myself, and I really do appreciate it. And I'll tell you a little story that's making me easy to talk here at the moment. It was my lovely cousins, Leslie and Jeffrey. They gave me a present, and I thought, Jesus Christ, I was trying not to cry. And I didn't say anything, and I thought, bloody hell, how am I going to get on when I'm going to have to talk to the whole lot? And I didn't say much, and then I had a look in the mirror and I said, toughen up, mate. Jesus Christ, it's only your whānau. But those of you who know me, I have found it difficult in times to talk to the family, simply because there's so much aroha out there, and I struggle. But today Steve has helped me along here. He's given me 14 whiskies, so that's working really good. Anyway, we'll start from the beginning. We heard family talk about Mum and Dad. They're my grandparents. They're my mother and father. They took over from my mother, and I was raised by them, and I was very grateful. I had very kind parents and hard parents at the same time. There was nothing easy about living down Kiwi Road. You got a hiding if you'd done something wrong. It was as simple as that. And it took me a long time to learn how to do it right. So, but with their nurturing and support and so forth, I just grew and grew to love Mum and Dad so much. It just they were my life. They were my life, and they still are. If you have a close look on my shoulder, you probably see them standing on my shoulder, along with Auntie Sue and Uncle Q and Uncle Henry and Auntie Tangi and Uncle Buck and Auntie Hetty, Uncle George. Well, actually Uncle George is still here, sorry Uncle. But anyway, yeah, and Auntie Shummy and all the whakatopis from Kiwi Road, and because it's not easy being brought up in Kiwi Road, because you've got all these uncles there yelling and swearing at you like Kevin said. There was no nice English. It was do this and do that with an F and an F and an F and a C thrown in. But anyway, it sort of shaped you, and yeah, so it was lovely having all those people sort of there to sort of help me grow up, and get me to sit there. I was a skinny looking, white looking kid on the walk out down to the farm, and all those cousins, big and dark and powerful, strong and boy and all them. And I'd go in there and try and struggle, and the old man would say, oh, get in there, boy, get in there, grab that pig. He was trying to show them that I could do just as good as they could and all that sort of stuff. Just a little game these women brothers played amongst themselves. Then I was just so lucky to meet Auntie Tangi, and she was at Ropunga, and I remember we had a game of rugby. We had to go and Wara had to go and play Ropunga, and you sort of had to be from Wara to appreciate Ropunga. They were tough, they were hard, they were dirty, cheating bastards. And they'll do anything they could to win a game of rugby. And anyway, my cousin and I, Corpa Tutu, we were the fastest runners in Wairoa. So they picked this team, and I could never beat that bugger. And anyway, we got to Ropunga, and they unloaded us off the bus, and they said, rightio, Corpa, you're the captain of the A team, and Dan, you're the captain of the B team. And we had to pick our teams, and we were playing Hurrabiddle and all our other blimmin' relations. And Uncle Raymond Joe was there. He goes, how are you going there, Danny boy? I said, oh, good thanks, Uncle. He said, you're going to get a hiding. And I said, no, we're not, Uncle. He said, you're going to get a hottie, boy. And anyway, because that was Dad's nephew. And so we picked these teams. And anyway, it was a total mismatch. Because when Ropunga picked their team, our A team ended up playing their B team. And my B team ended up playing their A team. So we're looking at a hiding. I thought, hell, this is not bloody good. So anyway, I rallied the boys. I said, come on, we can do this. I said, for Christ's sake, don't let me lose here. And we got behind and we beat them. And anyway, sort of flicking back a bit, that morning the old man said to me, he said, oh, when you're in Ropunga, you go and see your auntie and ask her for a feed of fish and chips. Because she used to own the fish and chip shop. I said, oh, I can't go and do that. He goes, no, you just tell her, she knows who you are. So I couldn't do it, and I couldn't. I said, oh, give me 5 cents and I'll go and do it. He said, no, she'll give it to you for nothing. So anyway, I went into the shop and I saw Auntie, and she was there, Auntie Tangi, and she goes, oh, hello, Danny boy. And it's just those sorts of memories I remember about them, and Ropunga and Mohawk, and Auntie Sue at Waihua. She's another person that had an impact on my life, on just listening to her talking to me when we had our one-on-one situations, and I just watched her, how she huffied her brother and looked after her brother, Dad, and the rest of the whānau in general. She was basically the matriarch of the Tumaruru family when Auntie Mary passed away. So anything that she said we sort of hung on to, and it always made sense. And so it's all those lovely people that aren't with us today I miss dearly, and but we'll always tell stories about them. If we get an opportunity, I probably won't be able to get around to everyone, but I'll try. But I can tell you some funny stories about what used to go on when we were kids visiting Waihua and Mohaka, going out to Uncle Morris Te Kahu's to go and get pigs and all that sort of stuff, picking up hangi stones from Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck would take us out to the river and we'd go and get the hangi stones, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was really good. And just sort of generally getting back to our immediate family, Boy who can't be here. I went to visit Boy in April this year, I think it was. He's not very well, but apparently he's on the improve, he's doing well. And Ganna can't be here. Bubs rang me up this morning and we had a good chat, and I said to her, I said, well Bubs, I said, thank you for calling me. She said, you know what, boy, I went down to the TAB yesterday, and he said, I told your mother there's a horse running called Go Dan Go. He said, I don't know whether your mother backed it or not, but I backed it at one and paid $20. And I said, oh, good on you. I said, and then she said, you know what, I was watching TV the other day, just a day ago, and they got cheap flights on Emirates, $188. And I said, oh, she goes, I wish I was on it, and I wish she was here as well, because we love Bubs, all of us. I spoke with Pip the other day, and we had a good cordial. Pip's to me, she's the cheeky one, the funny one, and always playing all the pranksters. That's Wiki over there, that's her son sitting over there. And we had lovely times, Pip being our oldest. She was the oldest out of all of us. I was the baby, then there was Graham, Karina, and Carl, and Nina, and Michelle, then myself. I was the new kid on the block. But you know, I had a good yarn with Pet, and I know if Uncle Henry was here today, he'll whack me in the ear for about what I'm going to say. But I'm going to mention Dole, Honey, and Henry. I'm going to mention Colin and David, because they were close to us. And 10 years ago, my lovely auntie put on a birthday for me. I turned 40, and at the time she was very, very ill. Hook or by crook, she was going to put it on no matter what, and she'd done it. and I'm so pleased to have her grandchildren. I've got her son and her daughter-in-laws, or ex-daughter-in-laws, or present, I don't know what they are at the moment, but they're lovely, and they're still, as far as I'm concerned, they're part of the family, and Jimmy knows that, and I wanted those 4 children here today that they never knew their grandmother, but we certainly did. So just wanted to mention Dole. I could not do anything without mentioning her. She was so lovely and caring to me, and she was like a big sister, and not really like an auntie, just and such a very good friend. My beautiful wife, we've been together 32 years, and she deserves a medal, because anyone who hangs out with the Tumaruru, they know. We're not easy. We're hard work. Yeah. We're all hard workers, Tumarurus, and I've heard it come from many people in Wairau. They say us we're hard work. Even the women Tumaruru, they're harder. So my darling wife, she's exactly what Christine and Bella had said, and she's staunch and she's tough, and she bites me, and we have a good go every now and then. I suppose that's why we're still together, and we love each other dearly. My son Carlos I love dearly. We've been together, like Carlos here, 30 odd years, and there's one year that he worked at Finlay's Bakery in Gisborne, and then he decided to come back and work with his father, and we've been together ever since. Carlos is not stupid, he's a clever man, he works it out, he knows the options, and if it wasn't good for him, we wouldn't be working together, and he is a very kind, generous son. He's very hard working. I'd put him up against anyone work-wise or anything. He's very intelligent, and I'm really, really proud of you, son. And you're developing into a very good, fine parent, and it's good to see. And we got two lovely muppos via Carlos. One of them's TJ. I got to Australia, became an instant grandfather, and that was good. And Amy, you've been lovely. We all know we've all had our moments and so forth, but at the end of the day, it's all been nice, and you're a good person and a good mother to our and it's lovely. Thank you, Amy, for all the help that you've done. My daughter Linda, I was saying to someone the other day that Uncle Buck had Joanne, and the old man had Dole, and well, Auntie Sue was lucky because she had everyone. She ordered everyone around, and they all listened. I think they were too scared to say no. And anyway, well, I've got Linda, and I don't order her around. I ask her. She just gets stuck in, and she does the job. She done this. She organised 90% of this, and she's so lovely, my daughter. And she works hard, and she's very kind and affectionate, and she might sort of get hot under the collar every now and then, but then she'll cool down, and then she'll get back to the task. And I love you, Linda. My daughter Gabrielle, she's a hard-working studier. She wants to become a fashion designer, and I watched Gabrielle over the last 12 months develop and focus on what she wants to do, and she's shown every determination that every Tumaruru Whakatauti hema could ever want to possess, and we'll back her all the way. She's going to have a bit of a break over this next semester. She's going to go and find a job, and then she's going to get back on track. And I said to her, baby, I said, all you need to buy me for my birthday if you want to. You don't have to buy anything. I said, you just come to tell Daddy you've got a job, I'll be wrapped. So that'll be lovely. And I know you will, Gabriel. I love you. And Gabriel does tell me everything, and I think it's fantastic. And we keep our closeness. And then as for my little beautiful teats, well, Tiana's developed into a beautiful mother. She's a young mother, and she's doing very, very well with Alexi, our granddaughter. And yeah, she's been hard work. Yeah, and I blame the Tumarurus for that. It's all them, but she's absolutely lovely, and she loves all of you. And those of you who know my girls, you know that it's true. My oldest daughter Stephanie's in Wellington. She's got a young son called Caleb. He's 5 or 6 years old now, and she's doing very well. She works for Trade Me in Wellington. She's gone back to university for the 3rd time. She went to Auckland University and studied accounting and got through that. And then she went back in Wellington and she wanted to work for Peter Jackson, and so she'd done 3D animation, so she nailed that one. And I was talking to her a month ago and she goes, Dad, I'm going to do computer technology, an advanced course in developing computer designs and all that. And I said, well, good on you, darling. And she's doing well. And although Stephanie, we hardly see her, she's no different to all these other girls. When you see them all together, they're just absolutely lovely. So there goes my children. I want to thank you, bro. How are you?
How are you, bro?
Thank you for doing what you've done today, and thanks for bringing Jess. Welcome to the family, Jess. And I just want to give you a little bit of a background on Steve and I. Back in 1986, we had a get-together for Phil Chamarawa and Polly Chamarawa's family. It was just a spur-of-the-moment thing, and we all got told it was organised and so forth. And the old man said yes. And he was the only non-family member in those days, and that came, and he attended it. And the old man spoke highly of him, and like Steve said, the old lady, she used to sit up and play cards with us and try and teach him how to waltz and all this sort of carry on. And this is after being at the pub for the night. We'd always shoot home and go and make a toasted sandwich, and probably not much different to what kids do today. But they haven't got their grandmother sitting there waiting to give them free waltzing lessons. When I was growing up, Nina used to make our lunches. Guess who had the good lunches? Nina would make our lunch, and I was very grateful. And she can't remember because I spoke to her ages ago, but she used to make a beautiful rock cake. Those of you who know what can you remember what a rock cake is? But they're a beautiful scone type biscuit, and she used to make hokey pokey biscuits and all that sort of stuff. And I grew up sort of waiting to get home on a cold winter's night, and Nina was pulling these biscuits and rock cakes out of our wood stove, and it was absolutely lovely. And Nina's been a very strong influence on us coming to Australia. She's supported us, she's backed us all the way. Same with Pania. Pania's part of my family, and I want to thank you, Nina. I want to thank you very much. I want to thank John and Gail for their support while we've been in Australia. It's been fantastic knowing that there's Chamarawas that have been here for 34 years plus, and it's a good foundation for us to come and build on. And it's lovely knowing the bros here. Just around the corner, we hardly see each other. He only lives around the corner from me, but with work commitments and so forth, when we do get together, it's an absolute pleasure. And it's sad that Gail's away at the moment because her sister passed away last Thursday, and Connie, and they couldn't be with us. But I thank you, bro. I thank you for huffing me and all that sort of stuff, and learning, and we have some great conversations, John and I. We talk whakapapa most of the time, and we talk about the old man, we have a moan about him, and so forth, but that's good, and we get things off our chest together, and it's fantastic. Koro, my younger brother over here. The last time John and I went to go and see our younger brother, I think we took all the scraps out of our fridge and that, and these are beer, I'm talking about scrapped beer, and we took it down, and we went down to Koro's, and then, because he brings a whole heap of grog as well. And anyway, 5 hours later, and most of the beer drunk, we tried to sing in his kitchen. And the vodka, we hammered the vodka, and it was nice. Kim and Jace, it's been lovely, and it's nice knowing you guys around the corner. We hardly see each other, but it's just very, very nice. And I just want to thank you all for that. I want to thank my friends that have come here. I want to thank Margarita. She's more than a friend, she's family to us. I've known Margarita since she was about 9 or 10. I could be incorrect, it might be younger. But she's always been with us, and we love her dearly. We love Henry, we love her baby, we love the Hee-Ha family, we love the Potus. And I just thank you for giving up your time, because I know you're work-orientated, Margarita, and you've done very, very well with the Aldi company of supermarkets, and Henry's doing well with Bunnings, and it's really nice to see you guys come here and actually make a success of your time in Australia. I want to thank Kim, she's my unofficial daughter via Linda, and via Wanganui, mind you, and it's nice to see you again. I want to thank my new friends. I've got Kelly and Steve Peterson. Kelly's from Ivnakuri of Panga Railway, and we've become friends on the scope that you're on presently. Thank you, Kelly, thanks Steve for coming. Ryan, Nancy, the last time I saw this guy, I said to him, the last time I saw you here, this done like his Billy. He goes, here with mine. And good to see you, Brian, and very nice to know that there's another one on the way. And that's fantastic. And Shane and Melissa, thank you for coming the other night. I appreciate it. I was really quiet that night. I sort of didn't want to rock it up too much, but I know so I was just trying to play it smooth and just sort of get through the night without getting casualties. And yeah, so thank you for coming. You know I love you. I've loved you since we first met each other in Wanganui and dearly to us. Kelly, it's Kelly, our professional photographer, that's Kelly's school. I want to thank Evan because he's a top bloke. Any guy that can hang out with a tomato raw chicken and live is doing okay. Martin, thanks for coming, son. You and Gracie. It's really nice to see you here. Yeah. Nicky, you and the girls, thanks for coming. That's lovely. I know John can't be, and I understand. I understand what goes on in families, that we need to go to work and so forth, so I understand that totally. Kevin and Gilly, Michael, awesome, bro. I've always had a soft spot for Auntie's family, and I've always had a special spot for Gilly. It's always been special, and I tell my children, I said, you don't have favourites in families, but you can have special people, and you're special, Gilly. You're special to me. Where's Michael? Oh, there he is. 17 years ago, I was lucky enough to be invited to Michael's 21st. We went down to Napier and this night. We had a great time. There's been some other milestones happened this year. Nick Murray turned 60, he had his birthday at Taihall. Vivian and Murdoch got married, they got married at Waitai Valley. John Boyd turned 40 on the 1st of July. Bella turns 49, I think, on Wednesday. My lovely son turns 30 on the 27th of July. And I'm just so proud to be here and to talk amongst you, and I hope I haven't bored you, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself. And the older brother turned 74 on the 16th. That's right. And Boyd turned 74 on the 16th. The older brother. Yeah. I want to thank Michelle, my beautiful cousin, Jeff. I've named it. The name is Meripeka Tahiwadu. We'll get that best, and I'll tell you why. It's got so much meaning. The incorporation Nana, your Nana, the area, and the Tahi. I'll tell you what the Tahi is. There's 4 reasons. I love you all. Who am I missing? Oh, my mother. I love you, mother. You've done a bit of travelling, mate. You've been a globe trotter. Well done. Charles is really reading for his grandmother. Thank you for coming. It was lovely. She was looking at people good. I don't think she was looking at it too. Well done, Sheila. It's lovely to have you with us and to spend the time with us. No, it's good. The Hema family, all the people we use. Like we said, this is what I've been there to get 32 years. We came back to London next year for our official 30th day we got married. We got married on the 5th, back in 1984, so officially we'll be married for 30 years. And the Hema family have been a big part of my life I should say. And most of you know we had a rough year last year. And I just want to say, certainly for other occasions that I will always love you, you're my sisters too. You're my brother, you're my nephew Carlos, and my son. And I treat you accordingly in my heart. And I just want to say that. And Nadine, you're so lovely. I just love all of you here. To Neil, and beautiful Mina and Simon. It's just great. And I'm just so glad that you guys could be here with me. And I love you so. The people ask me how.
Oh, you sound like it, Robert.
How I've lived till now. I tell them I don't know. I guess they'll understand how lonely life has been. But life began again the day he took my hand. It's not happening. And yes, I know how lonely life can be. The shadows follow me, and the night won't set me free. But I don't let the evening get me down. Now that you're around me. How we going? Pull us up? Join in. And you love me too. Okay. Your clothes just for me. You say my free. I'm happy that you do. The books are hard free. And once the page is read, oh, but love is dead, and that is my
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hip hip.
and the night was I need to know far from the gym. I was never good at blowjobs. And I love you so. The people ask me how I've lived till now. I tell them I don't know. Thank you, everyone. Neat, eh?